I like where he's at. We'll see how it goes.
Vic Fangio on Drew Lock as the Broncos got back to work Monday, their first practice since a tough outing for the offense at the stadium. Hello, I'm Phil Milani. Thanks for joining us for our Broncos Camp Daily Recap. Practice a little bit different this week. Fangio called Monday's on-field work more like season prep. 2 weeks from today, the Broncos will be kicking things off against the Titans. And while the offense hit what Fangio called a detour on Saturday, Drew Lock's teammates are here to help get it back on track.
To Drew, man, I let him know, my dude, no one's worried about you, man. We know you're working your tail off. We know you're our guy. You had a bad day. Let's improve from it. Let's move on. But what I love about this offense is there's guys that get upset about that, even if it's just practice. So I can only imagine when we don't perform the way we want to in games, what it's going to be like. I think that's just because we're competitors.
Someone who's always upset, even though it's just practice, is Aric DiLalla. Aric, the game 2 weeks from today, where do you think this offense is?
Well, first, Phil, how could I be upset when I'm talking to you here?
Yeah, you should be happy. This is a treat.
Exactly. No, Phil, I think the offense has its moments here and there. There are flashes of big plays and then times when you'd like to see them be a little bit more consistent. And Vic Fangio on Monday kind of echoed that sentiment. He said, hey, there are times when it looks like we're on that track, but we still have a ways to go. It's not perfect. He said Jerry Jeudy's still learning the offense, still learning how different defenses are going to play him. KJ Hamler, of course, has not been on the field with a hamstring injury. But he does like the progress those two guys have made overall and how they fit in with Drew Lock and some of the other weapons that are already on this Broncos offense.
Yeah, he said he's optimistic about what that final product will eventually look like. Aric, let's move to the other side of the ball. On Monday, we got our first look at Mark Barron in a Broncos uniform.
Yeah, Phil, Vic Fangio said they still have to kind of figure out where he's going to fit into this defense because there's not a lot of time left before the season opener on September 14th. At his best, Phil, I think Barron could be a coverage linebacker who could really help you against a tight end like Travis Kelce. He has some interceptions and pass breakups in his past. He spent the year with Pittsburgh last year, and when he was released, it wasn't necessarily because of declining play, but more of a salary cap casualty. So he said he can come in here, be that guy to cover tight ends, cover running backs. But Phil, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being an every down sort of linebacker. I think right now, though, he provides depth as Todd Davis is still battling that calf injury. And Justin Sternot, of course, is out for the season after having wrist surgery.
And Barron, a lot of experience heading into his 9th season in the NFL. He's played at safety and at linebacker, and he thinks that versatility is going to help carve out a role.
Over the years, I think it's really just a knowledge thing where I've played in a bunch of different roles, and I'm a pretty versatile guy, a flexible guy, so I can do a number of things for the defense if asked to do those things. So I think just that flexibility is where I can help out at.
Barron here to provide some much-needed depth on that defensive side of the ball as the injuries mount up. Let's bring in Sidney Jones now. And Sidney, we saw Bradley Chubb miss practice on Monday. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, Phil, Bradley exited practice early on Saturday just because he said his left knee felt a little weird and wanted to be cautious. Now, like you said, he did not practice again today. Head coach Vic Fangio met with the media today and said today was a rest day for Bradley, and they're going to be conservative with him moving forward for the rest of the week. But it's something to keep your eye on because the Broncos have high hopes for him this season.
Yeah, they definitely do, especially paired with Von Miller on the other side. Fangio was asked on Monday if he thinks that Chubb will be ready to go week 1.
I think what he's going through is a natural progression in recovering from his injury. And I'm still optimistic that he'll be out there in the first week and playing good. Probably not playing to the level he was pre-injury, but pretty damn close.
Finally, on Monday, the Broncos announced that fans could pay $100 to have a cutout be placed inside the stadium. All proceeds are going to Denver Broncos charities. How cool is that? If you're interested in finding out more, make sure you check out denverbroncos.com/cutouts. Orders must be placed by this Friday. That's going to do it for us. For Aric DiLalla and Sidney Jones, I'm Phil Milani. This has been our Broncos Camp Daily Recap.